So this whole thing is about an inconvenience fund. I called on Saturday. I asked them what all I needed to bring for this. I brought my elderly parents with me because they own the house that I live in. They said you needed your driver's license, 2 proofs of residency, utility bills. We get in there like a lot of other people, and now they're saying Social Security cards. While I'm sitting inside there, I call the number again, and the lady says driver's license and utility bills. Never mentioned anything about Social Security card. So a whole bunch of us from this line that waited out here all morning, we all left because of a Social Security card. They couldn't say that on the phone. That's not an inconvenience. Like, we're not going through enough.
Right.
I'm just like, I'm upset.
And like Jesus, you already have, you've got 2 proofs of that you live in the house. You've got your
everything. Like, they need a Social Security number. If it's that important, they should say that when you call on the phone. Right. And that's 2 separate people, because a guy answered on Saturday and a woman answered today. But that gentleman in there is saying you have to have a Social Security card or you don't get any money. That should be important. When you call, that should be important. Social Security card. Right. So, and I have foster children. They don't give us Social Security cards for foster children. So that's just an inconvenience. So anybody that's coming down here for the inconvenience, make sure you have your Social Security card or something with your Social Security number on it, because if not, you're not going to get any help.
And I guess this is not your first time here, it sounded like, too, right? So what was the process last time?
The last time it was mostly just about cleaning supplies and water and assistance with that, which they didn't really care who it was. You didn't have to really give. It was just a matter of getting people help. I think a lot of that came from the churches. So a lot of people didn't even really need to be from the area. If you just needed help, they were going to help you anyways. But that was a great help. But this is about money, and I get it, they got to cross their T's and dot their I's, but that should be something that, since it's the entire 44413 zip code, you should just tell people Social Security card. There's a lot of people that left because of that. Right. We waited here all morning. Right. So that's all. Yeah.
How much are they offering you?
So I don't even know that, because in the gymnasium at the town meeting they said $1,000. I have a duplex. My parents live on one side, I live on another. I'm 280, they're 282. So I don't know if it's per household, I don't know if it's per kid. But they want every household member, so if it's just $1,000 for the one residence, why do they need Social Security cards for everybody in my house? I just don't understand.
And do you live right in East Palestine, or are you like on the outskirts of town?
I'm about 2 blocks from the tracks on the west side, and I'm only 3 blocks from Market Street. So,
can you talk a little bit about what the whole experience in general has been like? I mean, have anyone in your family been having any health complications or anything like that?
Yeah, my one foster child right now currently has a bloody nose. She's going to see an allergist tomorrow. Saturday morning when we woke up, she couldn't breathe. Another one of my foster children couldn't breathe.
I keep hearing people mention allergies. It seems like an interesting thing to bring up right now. I mean, there was a giant chemical spill. The trees are not like budding or anything yet. There's not leaves coming out. Do you think this is related to allergies, or is this more likely related to the chemicals that just spilled and were set on fire in your town?
So my one foster child has not needed an inhaler in 1.5 years. Saturday morning after the fire was on Friday, she woke up, couldn't breathe. My little dog, I have a little Shishan, could not breathe Saturday morning. We had to leave. And I've brought him back into town. About 6 or 7 days into it, he couldn't breathe again. So I keep my little dog out of town for a while.
Right. So this is not sounding like allergies, but multiple people are saying allergies, and I'm curious where people are hearing like, oh, it's probably allergies. Like, I'm not an expert in that, right? But like, I don't, allergies usually happen when things are starting to come back in the springtime. Not really seeing a lot of that yet.
Well, some people are getting a really bad rash, so I'm not even using the laundromat to wash my clothes because I don't know, is it the water? I don't know what it is. I know I don't want the rash, so I try to do everything outside of town, and it's pretty bad. I mean, it's an inconvenience for everybody.
Do you use the water in your home?
I use bottled water, all bottled water, everything. we cook with it. We don't even shower here.
Right, yeah.
We don't shower here.
I don't blame you. I mean, if people are getting rashes, and it's like a lot of people are getting rashes, I wonder why they're getting rashes. I mean,
we did use the water to clean, but I was hoping that the bleach and the chemicals that are in the cleaners, that would help. So Microban, we're using a lot of Microban. Everything was full of soot. It was, even my dog can't even walk in the grass. He's all white, but when he walks in the grass, he's all dirty. So, and I know some people have it really bad because their houses were literally right there by the smoke.
Right.
And they haven't helped any of them. They helped one. There was one lady at the town hall meeting that they helped.
right.
But what about the other 4,000 and some
And
of
I
us?
wonder what she had to sign or do to get this help so far. You know what I mean? Who knows what they're up to at this point?
Well, I've already received 3 attorney cards in the mail to try to help with this. So I know Kissling, Nestico, and Reddick is one of them. So I received their card Saturday.
What are your thoughts on the federal government's response to all this?
What are they going to do? Are they going to help? Because,
They should be.
well, they didn't help Flint, Michigan. It took a long time for Flint, Michigan. So
I am here with Jim. We're currently outside of the assistance center here set up by Norfolk Southern. Folks in this line have been standing here for a couple hours already this morning, waiting for the doors to open. Jim's got some experience. He's been here before. This isn't his first rodeo waiting in this line here with Norfolk Southern, kind of running this assistance center for reimbursals. Do you mind just explaining kind of your experience with this the last time you came and what your thoughts are on all of it?
Well, the last time I came, we were able to get right in. I filed my claim for a hotel night stay and the gasoline to get there because I had to leave the night that they blew the train up. Well, now you come over here, you've got to stand in line, maybe get in, maybe not, and there's some deal about, well, we've run out of tickets. You need a pack of computer paper, I can bring you some. You can print the tickets, the checks, whatever. The second issue I had was I had to get my mother out of the nursing home over here in East Palestine because they evacuated. And I had to pay for her to go over to a nursing home in Lisbon. She's got dementia, she's in a wheelchair. Now I had the receipt for that, I showed it to them in there, and they gave me a story about, well, we're going to have these major reimbursements some other time. So I called the reimbursement number, I got a hold of the same guy, called it twice. He's got some kind of southern accent. He told me to come over to the reimbursement center with the receipt, and that's why I'm here today.
Right.
Yeah.
And I guess, why do you think that this system has changed from before? Initially they were just letting you right in, and now it seems like they're seemingly trying to limit the amount of people coming in?
Yeah, they're stalling.
Yep. And I guess, so the first time you came right in. Right now, it's almost 9 o'clock. It supposedly opens at 10. Hopefully for all of you folks in line, it opens sooner than this. The fact that, the nursing home situation is a dire one. Obviously, if you've got folks in a nursing home in East Palestine with health complications and whatnot, getting them out of town seems like a priority, and you're right to get her out of here. The fact that Norfolk Southern honestly isn't moving the whole nursing home out of town is a shame. Do you have confidence that you are going to get those reimbursements today on that?
Well, I've got an attorney, so one way or the other, I'll get something out of it.
And personally for you, have you been dealing with any health effects from this? For a lot of residents we've been talking to have had all sorts of different things going on.
No, I was outside the 1 mile limit,
Okay.
but they kept moving it toward me, and that's why I took my mother home for like 1 day, and I saw what they were going to do, and I saw that she couldn't be at home with me, so I had to take her over to, it's called LA Adult Care in Lisbon, and that's where she's going to be. She's not coming back here. because I don't think that nursing home was cleaned out or anything. So, yeah.
Jim, what are your thoughts on the federal government's response to all this?
I'm just going to repeat that in the microphone. What do you think the federal government's response to all of this is like?
It's not been much.
Gotcha.
No.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, the folks who have been here, it seems like, they're like, oh, the EPA is testing certain things, but they're not being extremely clear about what exactly they're testing for. We're getting lots of folks who seemingly are questioning the results that they're getting, and rightfully so. I mean, the lack of clarity on a lot of this stuff seems terrible.
Yeah, I live on West Clark Street, right next to the railroad track, and I've seen that train come through there with open cars of coal, and it covers the street with smoke and filth. Now, the past 2 trains I've seen come through there have been coming through very slowly, and they've got the same coal on them, the same cars, hasn't been a bit of dust. So if they're going to come through that town with unsecured loads, they need to come through slower, because who knows if that is actual coal dust or what's in that that's blowing out too.
Right, and I mean, hopefully we see some sort of new regulations come as a result of this. Unfortunately, so far, I mean, just this morning we saw there's been a strongly worded letter from Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg. We still obviously haven't heard any real messages from the White House about what specifically they're going to do about this. They've had weeks at this point, and we haven't heard anything. So we'll see. I guess, is there anything else you want to share with folks from outside of the area about what's going on?
They just gave him that job to satisfy the liberals. That's the only reason they gave him that job.
Didn't hit the sirens or anything. No one knocked on my door.
Yep.
I live right behind the police station.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So I'm here with Mark here. We're in
Mark
East
Milnes.
Mark Milnes. Where I live here. They don't. You live right in town here. Do you want to just explain?
2 blocks away. I live right here, and I moved here. I spent all my money on my house because I thought it was safe here. Now my house ain't worth a nickel.
And so at this point, I mean, we were at the center this morning where folks are trying to, get reimbursements and things like that from Norfolk Southern. Have you been over there to try to do that? Have you had any luck?
I'm not trying. I want to talk to Aaron Brockovich, who's coming on Friday. And if I sign my name on anything, so what happens later on? Dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so far, have you or anyone you live with had any health effects or anything like that from all of this?
I've had a sore throat for, like a week after it, but I'm okay. I've done a lot of stuff in my life, so yeah, put stuff in my lungs worse than this.
Gotcha. And we're hearing from, the government is essentially saying the water's fine. The air is fine.
Yeah, let me see someone take a drink of water. I seen that dude hold up an empty cup. Yeah, it was empty. I don't trust that.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, we've got people we've been talking to who they were drinking the water and trusting it, and making coffee with it and whatnot, and having stuff, and then as soon as they stop and they switch to drinking bottled water, they start feeling better.
So what about doing dishes, taking a shower, washing clothes, hanging clothes outside? No one will give you an answer. It's like kicking a can down the road. No one will answer that. Because I was at the town hall the other day. No one answered it. They wouldn't answer a question.
Right. And I guess at this point, too, what do you think of the actual response here? I mean, we're not seeing slow. Yeah.
Slow, yeah.
I mean, FEMA's just rolling into town.
Wasn't even here. Where'd Pete? Where'd Mayor Pete?
You didn't see he sent a strongly worded letter this morning.
Oh, nah, no.
He actually did, but it's not going to do anything.
That helped me a lot. Yeah, a letter helps me a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what's crazy is, like, there are easy regulations that could be put in place today.
They was shut down in 2018. See it. I
Right.
do a little investigation myself.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you'd like to see some of those come back, though, and probably some more, I would imagine.
No, you know what killed me? The first thing that Norfolk Southern wanted to do was open that main line. that was the first thing. It was all about that corporate greed. That was the first thing I wanted to do, open that line again.
Right.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, they'll spend the time to go do that, but they to get that going and running smoothly and efficiently. But
you hear that train go through all day long. Yeah, that line's open.
Yep. But unfortunately, they don't have the same sort of expediency when it comes to all of the residents' time who are standing in line. We saw people standing in line this morning. They were getting there at the people in the front of the line said 5:30 in the morning. Yeah.
$40 grand. Yeah, I'll wait. You know.
And
$5 grand. A grand is a lot of money for us poor people in here, but I'm not gonna wait.
Yeah.
Nah,
Right. And to be fair, I mean, $1,000. I had one person say it's disrespectful to even offer $1,000.
Property tax. my house just dropped. It's not worth a nickel anymore. No one's gonna want to buy a house in this village no more.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. No, it's a shame that that's what it's come down to, and like Norfolk Southern is going to do anything they can to try to prevent
their
that.
money. I want my money too. You know, I invested all my money in this house. It's gone. Yeah. No one's going to buy it. Where can I move now?
Right.
I can't sell my house. No one's going to move in this village, hamlet, whatever you call it. So
It's a shame.
you guys be careful, you know. I wear a mask, you know. I have my mask too, but when I cross them creeks running through this village, I put my mask on. You know, I wore a mask for 2 years. Now I got to put my mask back on.
Yep.
Dig it? I don't dig it.
No, it's not great. Anything else you want to share with folks who aren't here about what's actually happening that you don't think is actually getting out there?
Are they going to open the village swimming pool this summer? And I want Northern Southern kids going in that pool before I go in it. Mm-hmm. And then I'll believe it's safe. But thank you guys for covering this. You know, I wish it didn't have to happen, but thank you. You guys are good humans.